Hello, and welcome to the second official video in our tutorial series. So for this video, we are going to learn how to add images to web pages. So if we open up our web page, we'll see that, sure, we have our paragraph, heading, and title, but we don't have much else. Images are a great thing to add to your web page. They give it so much character. Pretty much every website that you see will have images in some form, be it a logo or maybe it's a photography website and it has photos. But before we add images, let's edit our web page a little. So you see what I did there? I right-clicked the file, and then I selected Open With and Sublime. So here we are. Instead of something boring like my first web page, let's make this page about something to make it more memorable. You have some creative room here. You don't have to do exactly what I do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this web page about food because I like food. I'm going to get rid of this paragraph for now. I want a heading with a single image under it. So instead of that, I'm going to type in, savory food. So this is going to be my heading. Now I'm going to close this, Control X, exit, and then I'm going to add this conveniently located photo into my projects folder, or actually just drag it to the same area as my index.html. So it's really important that this photo, this image, is in the same directory or folder as your HTML file. It could be in a different folder. In fact, later on, when we go to design bigger projects, we will have a dedicated image folder, but for our purposes, just put it in this folder. It will make the design a bit easier at first when we're just still learning. You'll see what I mean. So, same folder. Now I'm going to go back to Sublime. Oops. Right click, Open With, Sublime Text. And the way we add images is by using the img or image tag. So right here, just to start out the tag, I'm going to type in img. This tag has no closing tag, so it's a lot like the meta tag in that aspect. I'm going to indent my tag just because I know that this is going to be under the first heading, the image that I'm adding. So I'm going to indent it. You don't have to, but personal preference. We're going to add a very important attribute here. So our attribute is going to be the source attribute, or the src attribute. In here, we'll type in the name of our image. So chicken.jpg. So if this were in another folder, if the image were in another folder, we have to type in the path to that image, which is essentially the system of directories that you have to click through to get to that image. So it can be done, and we will expand on that later in the series. But for now, to keep things simple, just make sure this photo or this image is in the same folder as the HTML file, and just put in the image name. Now I'm going to save this with Command S, exit, and then open up my web page. And hey, here's our image right here. So your image might be really big. If that is the case, you'll need to resize your image. Yes, there are attributes in HTML that will resize your image once it's displayed to the browser, but you still have to download a huge file size, which just is not practical. even if you use HTML to resize your image. So just use an external file resizing tool or image resizing tool. I'll link one down below in the description. So exit out. Now our web page has a bit more, pizzazz to it. Let's go back to our HTML file. Right click, open with, Sublime Text. This is not the only attribute, the source attribute, that we want to add to our image tag. We want something that will display if our image gets corrupted or gets moved or something like that. So our alt tag is basically a caption that we can put to the image. In this case, let's just say chicken for our alt. This also makes it easier for screen readers, for people who have visual impairments, to read the web page. Screen readers will read the alt tag or the alt attribute. So image tag, source attribute, alt attribute. Now we'll save this again, and I want to show you what happens when the image is corrupted or unusable in some way. You'll get a dead image icon on your web page. So I'm going to click this, and the image is no longer in the same directory as our web page. So now it just has a dead image icon, but we have that alt tag, or that alt attribute. So we have chicken displaying right here because of that. And there we have it. That is how you add an image to a web page. Please leave a like and a subscribe, and I will see you next video.